At our divorce hearing, my husband smirked. I'll be walking away with half her millions, her grandmother's estate included. The room buzzed with whispers. Then I rose, handed the judge an envelope, and said, "You might want to read this first." The judge glanced at my husband and couldn't stop laughing. My name's Judith Crawford, and I never thought I'd end up here, fighting to protect everything I'd worked for and everything my grandmother left me. 5 years ago, I was a successful businesswoman running Brightvale Analytics, a consulting firm that helps small businesses thrive. I was good with numbers, great at my job, but when it came to love, I was a little lost. I'd just turned 40, still grieving the loss of my grandmother, who was my rock, my confidant, the one who taught me to stand tall and protect what matters. That's when Bradley swooped into my life like a country song come to life. Charming, handsome, all slick back, golden hair, and promises of forever. We met at a business conference in Memphis. He was a sales manager for a pharmaceutical company, always dressed sharp, always saying the right things. "You're brilliant, Judith," he'd say, watching me crunch numbers. "I've never met anyone who gets this stuff like you do." I thought he was smitten with my brain. Turns out he was smitten with my bank account. But I didn't see it then. I was lonely, and Bradley was like a warm southern breeze, filling the empty spaces in my life with fancy dinners, romantic getaways, and all the attention I'd been craving. 8 months in, he proposed. Oh, it was a scene straight out of a rom-com. A private dinner on a riverboat, a quartet playing our favorite songs, a diamond ring that probably cost more than his car. I was hesitant, though. My grandmother's voice echoed in my head. "Don't let anyone rush you, Judith. Protect yourself." So I listened to my attorney, Patricia Holbrook, who insisted on a prenup. "It's not romantic, but it's practical," she said. I felt awkward bringing it up with Bradley. Nobody wants to talk money when they're head over heels. But he just laughed it off. "Of course, darling," he said, signing the papers without even glancing at them. "I'm not marrying you for your money. I'm marrying you for you, God. I bought it. Hook, line, and sinker." That prenup was my lifeline, but I didn't know it yet. Patricia was thorough. She protected my business, my savings, and any future inheritance, like the estate my grandmother would leave me. I thought she was being overly cautious. Turns out she was a genius. Fast forward 18 months into our marriage, and everything changed. I got a call that my grandmother's estate had come through. Her house, her rare book collection, her investments, and $2.8 million in carefully managed funds. I was floored. I'd known she was comfortable, but this was life-changing. When I told Bradley, his eyes lit up like he'd hit the jackpot at a slot machine. "$2.8 million, Judith? We're rich," he said, grinning. That "we" should have been my first red flag. From that moment, Bradley transformed. He quit his job 6 months later, saying he wanted to support my success and explore new opportunities. What he really meant was, "I'm going to spend your money like it's my own." He bought a sleek luxury car for networking, sank $30,000 into a friend's restaurant that tanked within a year, booked lavish vacations, and joined an exclusive golf club. Every time I questioned him, he'd flash that charming smile and say, "We're partners, Judith. Couples trust each other with money." I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe we were a team. But the cracks started showing. 6 months ago, I overheard him at the country club bragging that the inheritance was our family money. He was calling himself an investor, an entrepreneur, acting like he'd earned a dime of it. When I confronted him, he turned nasty. "You act like it's a secret I married up," he snapped. "Everyone knows you were a lonely workaholic before me." His words cut deep because, yeah, I had been lonely. But I wasn't blind. I started digging and found emails between Bradley and his attorney plotting a divorce strategy to claim half my inheritance. He'd been playing the long game, researching Tennessee divorce laws, banking on emotional support to justify taking my grandmother's legacy. That was it. I called Patricia and filed her divorce. If Bradley wanted a fight, I'd give him one, but on my terms. Now, here I am in this Nashville courtroom, the air thick with tension, the dark wood paneling making it feel like a scene from a legal drama. Outside, I can hear the hum of Broadway traffic, people living their lives while mine's being torn apart in front of strangers. Reporters are scribbling notes, spectators are whispering, probably wondering how many millions Bradley's about to walk away with. He's sitting there in a suit I paid for, looking like he's already counting my money. But I've got something he didn't see coming. Judge Richardson, a no-nonsense woman with steel gray hair and 20 years on the family court bench, calls me forward. "Mrs. Crawford, do you have a response to these claims?" she asks, her voice calm but firm. My heart's racing, but I stand steady as I can. "Your Honor," I say, pulling the envelope from my purse, "I believe the court needs to see this." The room goes quiet. Bradley's smug grin falters as I hand the envelope to the judge. "It's a prenuptial agreement," I say, my voice clear, "one that my husband signed 5 years ago." The courtroom feels like it's holding its breath. Bradley's attorney, Gerald Weston, shoots out of his chair like he's been electrocuted. "Your Honor, we weren't informed of any prenup," he sputters. Judge Richardson shuts him down with a single look. "Sit down, Mr. Weston. I'll determine its validity." I sit back down, locking eyes with Bradley. His face is a roller coaster. Confidence to confusion to straight up panic in seconds. He's whispering to Gerald words like, "she never mentioned," and "how is this possible?" floating across the room. Patricia, cool as a cucumber beside me, whispers, "Just watch." She's been planning this for months, making sure every detail is airtight. Judge Richardson takes her time, reading every page of the prenup like it's a novel. It's a masterpiece. Patricia made sure of that. It spells out that my business, my savings, and any inheritance are mine no matter what. Bradley's attorney looks like he's about to faint as the judge announces, "This is a properly executed prenuptial agreement dated 6 weeks before. The marriage, witnessed by 2 notaries and signed by both parties. Bradley's losing it now." "Your Honor, I need to see that document," he blurts, his voice cracking. "I don't remember signing anything like that." The judge's eyebrows shoot up. "Mr. Crawford, remain seated," she snaps. But Bradley's spiraling, his golden boy charm crumbling. "Judith, what is this? You never told me this was a legal trap," he says, loud enough for everyone to hear. here. The spectators are eating it up, hens scratching, whispers buzzing. Judge Richardson isn't having it. Mr. Crawford, one more outburst and I'll hold you in contempt. During a 10-minute recess, I watch Bradley and Gerald huddle by the windows. Bradley's gestures getting wilder by the second. Patricia leans over. He's gonna claim fraud or duress, she predicts. Guys like him always blame someone else. Sure enough, when court resumes, Gerald tries to argue that I tricked Bradley, that I called the prenup a romantic formality. The judge isn't buying it. Mr. Weston, are you saying your client signed a legal document without reading it? She asks, her tone dripping with skepticism. Gerald stammers, admitting Bradley waived his right to a lawyer. Bradley's face is red, his knuckles white as he grips the table. The judge reads key sections aloud. My premarital assets are mine, my inheritance is mine, and Bradley gets no alimony no matter how long we were married. Gerald slipping through the prenup, looking for a loophole, but there isn't one. Patricia made sure of that. I stand again, calm and clear. Your Honor, I kept my inheritance in separate accounts, never commingled with marital funds. It's fully protected under the prenup. Bradley can't take it anymore. That's not true, he shouts. She paid for vacations for us. The judge shuts him down hard. Mr. Crawford, you are out of order. By now, Bradley's true colors are on full display. He's not the charming prince anymore. He's a desperate man who thought he could charm his way to millions. Judge Richardson delivers the final blow. Mr. Crawford, this prenup is valid and binding. You are entitled to nothing from your wife's assets, inheritance, or business. Furthermore, you're responsible for $87,000 in debts you incurred, credit cards, a car loan, a failed restaurant, and country clubbies. The courtroom erupts in murmurs. Someone stifles a laugh. Bradley's mouth drops open. Nothing? He whispers. Nothing, the judge confirms, her gavel slamming down like thunder. The divorce is granted, and Bradley gets zero, zilch, nada. As people file out, Bradley calls after me, Judith, this isn't over. But it is. I turn to him, calm as ever. Bradley, it was over the moment you decided to marry me for my money instead of loving me for me. Your greed ruined you. His face crumples, and for the first time, I see the real Bradley. Not the charmer, but the man who bet it all and lost. In the months that followed, Bradley's life fell apart. The $87,000 in debt forced him into bankruptcy. His country club membership? Gone. His luxury car? Repossessed. His reputation in Nashville's business scene? Toast. Word spread fast about the guy who tried to scam his wife's inheritance, and he became a cautionary tale. He moved back to Memphis, living with his parents, working an entry-level sales job at 47, his dreams of easy money gone. Me? I took part of my grandmother's legacy and started the Crawford Foundation, helping women get prenups and legal support in divorces. I wanted to make sure no one else falls prey to a Bradley. Looking back, my grandmother's wisdom saved me, not just from financial ruin, but from a life tied to someone who saw my love as a paycheck. As I walked out of that courtroom, the weight of 5 years lifted. Justice, it turns out, has a way of serving itself with a side of poetic irony.